A former sponsor is returning to NASCAR, Daniel Suarez has a new contract, Aric Almirola holds off retirement, and Alex Bowman needs to find a new crew chief. We got a lot to talk about in this one. Alright, like I said, we got a busy day in store for y'all. Let's first discuss Daniel Suarez from Mexico driving for the number 99 car for Team Trackhouse. Now, although it hasn't been confirmed on what his future plans look like for 2023, sources speculate that he would return to Trackhouse for 2023, and he did just that, signs a new deal, signed on for at least the 2023 season. Doesn't say on whether or not it will be a multi-year extension, but he will be back with the team in 2023, which is good news because Daniel Suarez has had his best season so far. Most amount of top 5, top 10s, got his first win at Sonoma back in June. He has found his place, I feel like. I think Team Trackhouse is the first team that really gave hope, that really was behind Daniel Suarez in his Cup career. And it's nice to see that he finally has a place where he feels like he is wanted in Team Trackhouse. So it's awesome to see that he'll be back in the 99 car next year, which now they can put that aside and focus on the championship, currently locked into the playoffs, I believe in the 9th or 10th seed. But yeah, a lot of good things going on for Trackhouse and Daniel Suarez. Now, NASCAR has a new-ish sponsor. We know with the Camping World Truck Series, that entitlement will be ending at the end of this year. In its replacement, Craftsman, that's right, Craftsman Tools will return as a title sponsor for NASCAR's Truck Series division. Now, for those of you, including myself, remembers back then at the beginning when the Truck Series was first started, it was Craftsman that jumped on board. It was the NASCAR Craftsman Super Truck Series and then the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. They went from, I think, 1996 to 2008. Then Camping World took over in 2009, but I'm surprised to see that Craftsman is returning back to the fold of NASCAR's entitlement sponsorship for the Truck Series division. A lot of good things going. Awesome to see that. Now we just got to overhaul the broadcast because they have been atrocious. But so far, good step in the right direction. Having a nostalgic sponsor return to the series, always nice to see, especially Craftsman that has always been synonymous with the Truck Series. I know Camping World has been in NASCAR for I think 13 years or so. It started in 2009. They've been there for time, but Craftsman is the OG. It's the original. Everyone loves the Craftsman Truck Series, so it's nice to see that come back in 2023. It'll be different compared to the last time in 2008 when Craftsman was the sponsor, but still nice to see some old sponsors come back to NASCAR. Now, all we need is for Xfinity to give up their sponsorships. We can have the Busch Series come back next year. That won't happen, but again, it's nice to see more sponsors, or at least old sponsors, having a bigger presence in NASCAR in the future. Speaking of sponsors, Smithfield and Aric Almirola. Now, Aric Almirola, he has been in and out on whether or not he's going to retire this year. At the beginning of the year, he said he would retire. Now he's not. A report came out from Jim Utter a couple weeks ago that said that Aric Almirola will hold off retirement. Aric didn't confirm it until today. But not only is he returning for this year, he's returning for this year and beyond. In a multi-year extension, Aric Almirola will return to the number 10 car for Stewart-Haas Racing, and Smithfield will actually up their ante in their primary sponsorship. They're going to basically cover the same amount of races that they did in 2018 and 2019, which is really nice to see for sponsors, longtime sponsors. Smithfield have been part of NASCAR since 2012. Nice to see them not only come back into the sport, but have a bigger presence in the sport, which is real nice to see. As for a reason why, well, Aric gave the reasoning for it to the media earlier today.
The CEO of Smithfield and said, hey, we really want you to reconsider retiring. We want you to come back and drive a race car. Is really, really hard to say no. I did tell him, let me talk to Janice and let me think about it, let me pray about it. And we did, and there was a lot of back and forth discussion, but ultimately it just feels right. And I told you guys all, down here at the beginning of the year that I was retiring, and that it was for, a family decision. And this is still very much a family decision.
So yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Smithfield, the CEO of Smithfield, was the one that encouraged Aric to come back. That was saying, hey, we really want you to come back and drive a car, which makes me believe that Smithfield was possibly considering leaving SHR, maybe even leaving NASCAR as a whole. For you to go out and beg your current driver to come back tells me that you're not looking for other drivers to sponsor. It's either Aric Almirola or you're leaving NASCAR, which I feel like is very important and really shows how special Aric is to Smithfield. And I'm surprised Aric Almirola is coming back for beyond, for in a multi-year extension. which part of me makes me think, why were you considering retirement in the first place? I understand people's minds can change, but to go from I'm retiring this year to now saying I'm not retiring and I'm going to be staying for at least a couple more seasons, kind of shocking. I don't think I've ever seen or heard of a situation like this in a Cup Series where a driver says he's going to retire, then doesn't, and then signs on for more years in racing. But it's nice to see. I mean, Aric, yeah, a lot of people don't like him because he's a mediocre driver, but he's not the worst driver at SHR. In fact, I would even argue he's maybe the I think he's maybe the second best driver. I mean, him and Chase Briscoe, they go back and forth, I feel like. But Aric Almirola is not that bad that people are making out to be. He's a really good, consistent driver, I feel like. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that he's back at SHR considering Smithfield has a huge presence in the sport, but very surprised that he's coming back for multiple years. Which, of course, I mean, we have to bring up Kyle Busch because we always have to. SHR is off the table. They are out of it. I mean, Cole Custer more than likely is going to return next year, despite rumors. He's going to return next year. Kyle Busch, his only option is either colleague or Joe Gibbs. And it's going to be colleague. But I just want to point that out there. Just a little Kyle Busch nugget. He ain't going to SHR. And finally, Alex Bowman has going to have to find a new crew chief next season. Greg Ives, who has been a crew chief, at least in the Cup Series in the 88 car with Dale Jr. since 2015, has announced that he will retire at the end of the 2022 season. He will step down as crew chief. Basically, to sum it up, he wants to spend more time with his family, which is the trend that we've seen with a lot of crew chiefs nowadays. It's like Chad Knaus, he stepped down as a crew chief to focus on more being at home with his family. Still a role at Hendrick Motorsports, but just not on the road. I feel like he's a very underappreciated crew chief, and we know him and Dale Jr. had issues in 2015, well, 16 and 17 really, with the whole concussion issues, and Greg Ives, I think, did a really good job at navigating the 88 team through that whole process. He's made helped Alex Bowman become a multiple-time winner in the Cup Series, helped develop in Chase Elliott, who worked together. They were Greg Ives was Chase Elliott's crew chief during Chase Elliott's 2014 Xfinity Series run. So he's done some really good things as his time as crew chief, but will transition, like Chad Knaus, will transition to a role at Hendrick Motorsports and not be part of the on-road team. Now the question is, who is going to replace Greg Ives? Obviously that will be decided later in the season, more than likely during the off season. But very interesting to see how this new crew chief driver dynamic will work out with Alex Bowman and his future crew chief for 2023. And finally, Zane Smith, the 2022 Truck Series regular season champion for Front Row Motorsports, will return to the team, to the 38 truck team for 2023. But not only that, will make his Daytona 500 debut with Front Row Motorsports and also include other races in the NASCAR Cup Series as well as the Xfinity Series in collaboration with Front Row. Now, I think this is good news. I've always viewed Zane Smith as a really, really good prospect for the future of NASCAR, but I am a bit surprised that he's staying in the Truck Series. He currently has 3 wins at the moment. Like I said, won the regular season championship. In fact, the last 3 seasons in the Truck Series, he has finished second in points. In 2020, 2021, he was with GMS Racing, won 3 races for that team and another 3 for Front Row. So I am surprised he's staying in trucks, but it is nice to see him get some more experience under his belt. Back into Xfinity Series, he drove a couple races for Junior Motorsports and did pretty well there, scoring some top 5s and more top 10. So pretty good prospect. And the fact that Front Row is treating him like this, they're making him their number 1 prospect, makes me believe that more than likely he's going to be replacing Todd Gilliland in the near future, or at the very least, he's going to be a part of the Cup Series team for Front Row Motorsports some point in time. But yeah, that's it for this episode. What are your thoughts? What do you think of Aric Almirola returning to NASCAR full time for the next years, not just for 2023, but for beyond? How do you think he will do in the future? And also, what are your thoughts on Zane Smith and his run in NASCAR, getting some Cup Series races under his belt? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Until next time, my name is Jet. Thanks for watching.